What's going on, Browns fans? We got a fun show planned out for you guys today. We'll look at a franchise tag candidate for Cleveland. We'll explore a potential Jimmy Garoppolo trade idea that was floated out, came across on the internet. And then we'll wrap up the show talking about whether a Denzel Ward extension is on the horizon. First, though, if you are looking for news and rumors for the Browns all offseason, really just all year round, free agency coverage, NFL draft coverage, including mock drafts and draft targets, then this is the channel for you. So if you have not subscribed already, hit that big red button. We are less than 25 subs away from reaching 6,000 subscribers, one of the most growing Browns YouTube channels out there. So go ahead and hit that big red button and subscribe today. To tackle the three stories on today's show, we're going to use these Bernie heads. It's kind of a scale of believability. We scale from 0 Bernie heads, which is fake news, all the way to 4 Bernie heads, which is Believeland. The more Bernie heads, the more likely I think it is. So with that, let's get into the first segment of today's show, which is whether or not the Browns are going to franchise tag David NJOKU, the tight end. I'm giving this one 2 Bernie heads. It's more than just 1 Bernie head because there's enough smoke around this idea to explore it as a somewhat real possibility. So let's check out the details on this. It comes from SB Nation, but honestly it came from a handful of different media outlets that have dubbed NJOKU as a prime franchise tag candidate. So the way franchise tags works is for unrestricted free agents that teams, I don't know if they want to give him a long-term deal, but they don't want to let him walk, so they put him on a franchise tag, which takes the average of the top 5 salaries of that position, and that's their salary, all guaranteed for 1 season. Some teams don't use it because they don't want to give that much money to one player. The tight end position group for this year is going to go for about $11 million, and that's almost double than when NJOKU made last year at $6 million. So is David NJOKU twice as good as his last salary? Well, we look at the last 4 years for NJOKU, and it's been a tough nut to crack as the former first-round pick in terms of has he been worthy of a longer-term extension. He was one of the kind of go-to guys. Remember that Chargers game this past season where he just had – you saw the athleticism that was worth of that 27th overall pick back in 2017, but it's been too far and few in between, in my opinion, to really lock him up for a 4-5-year extension, one of those top 5 salaries of the tight end group. I personally would not tag him for $11 million. That's a lot of money for a guy like David NJOKU, who I think is a good tight end. I think he'll have a good career in the NFL, and he's had great moments for the Browns. But it just hasn't been consistent enough for me. There's been too many down moments, right? Too long of stretches where NJOKU kind of disappears. Not all on him, but in an offense that really loves their tight ends, you would have expected to see more from NJOKU, and for that reason, I'm out. But what do you guys think? Do you want David NJOKU back in 2022? I wouldn't be opposed to it for a team-friendly deal, but not for a franchise tag. But if you do, give me 85, his jersey number below. But if you're ready to help him, pack his bags and say sayonara, give me a B for buy down below. Next up on the show, should a Jimmy G trade be in the works? Well, I'm giving this a 1 Bernie head, just small shreds of truth about a potential Jimmy Garoppolo trade to Cleveland. So the 49ers have been rumored to want to move on from Jimmy Garoppolo by the end of the month. I know that seems soon, but you got to remember, the Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff trade, that happened right around this time last year. So it could honestly happen just about any day. It wouldn't be official for a couple of weeks until the 2022 NFL season officially gets underway March 16th. But Garoppolo would be a good fit for what the Browns like to do on the offensive side of things, which is run the football and have your quarterback protect the football. And Baker's got plenty of flair. We all know that. But he's also got a tendency to turn the ball over. The interceptions catch up to him way too much. And so I'm only giving this one Bernie head, small shreds of truth, because I know the 49ers are going to trade Garoppolo. Cleveland would be a good fit, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen to me. And the GM, Andrew Berry, would really have to panic. He'd have to wake up in the middle of the night with a horrible nightmare and be covered in sweat and like, we need to get Garoppolo. That's the only way we're going to get to the Super Bowl next year. The 49ers wouldn't want Baker Mayfield in his $18 million contract to be the most expensive paid backup quarterback ever behind Trey Lance. I don't see this one happening. I think Garoppolo could end up with a team like the Steelers, for example, but not in Cleveland. You look at the numbers, though, for Garoppolo, we'll at least entertain the factual side of this and kind of compare the two guys. So 2021, not a bad year for Jimmy G, 20 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. But when you compare him to Baker Mayfield, what I like to do here is I took their best seasons, kind of showing when they're at their best, who's the best. And that 2019 Super Bowl run for the Niners, Jimmy G was playing his best football. And that's what the best football looks like for Garoppolo. And that's what Garoppolo is, right? He's not a 4,000-yard passer. He won't get you over 30 touchdowns, but he'll protect the football, and he's really good at handing it off. I mean, he is the best handoff quarterback out there. He extends his elbow, and I hope you can tell there's some sarcasm behind this and some jokes with it. But when you look at Baker in 2020, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. The completion percentage is kind of the most jarring difference between these two. Baker likes to let it fly. He likes to let it loose down the field. Garoppolo, he's pretty good at keeping it underneath, but when he does have to push it down the field, well, you can ask Emmanuel Sanders in the Super Bowl how that worked out, because if he does not overthrow that pass, the Niners have a Super Bowl ring in 2019. All right, who's the better quarterback, though? Is it Baker Mayfield or is it Garoppolo? Just comment their jersey number down below who you think is a better quarterback. I think it's very situational. Garoppolo has done great under Kyle Shanahan. Shanahan is a phenomenal coach. Don't know how well he'd be under a less phenomenal coach, and it doesn't have a tremendous run game. I think we might find out, though, wherever Jimmy G goes next. All right, next up on the show, a Denzel Ward extension. Is that on the horizon this offseason for Barry? Is that at the top of his to-do list? But first, I want to give some shout-outs to some loyal subscribers and some frequent commenters. So shouting out some recent people that have commented on the Browns Report. So Scott Zappa, Brandon Sandler, Kid Wilson 33, you're getting your shout out today. Dan Brown, always see you frequently commenting down below. Appreciate you. And Tyrone Harrison, a new subscriber to the channel. Appreciate all of you guys that subscribe, that comment, that like the video. You guys are so instrumental in helping this channel grow and letting me do what I love the most, which is talk about the Brownies. Before we get to the Denzel Ward extension, though, I want to tell you guys about an awesome deal going on at Fanatics. 30% off this sweet T-shirt, charcoal gray. I want to sound like like I know what clothes look like, but 30% off when you go to chatsports.com/Browns T-shirt. I got that link in the comments and the description of this video, so make sure you check it out. Won't be on sale forever, so make sure you take advantage of this deal while it lasts. 30% off, going for like $14 right now. Pretty sick shirt, so get yourself hooked up with it. Next up, though, final segment of today's Browns Report. Denzel Ward extension. Is that coming up for Cleveland and for Ward? I'm giving this 4 birdie heads. Cleveland, you can take it to the bank. It's an absolute guarantee. And if it doesn't happen, shame on Cleveland. Ward is entering the final year of his rookie deal. He's going to make just north of $13 million in 2022. And my biggest fear is it'll be Joe Hayden all over again if the Browns somehow botch this and don't get Ward extended. I know Hayden the last 2-ish years with Cleveland, he was injured and you didn't get 16 games out of him. And you don't want to give someone who's, the best ability is availability. But we know how this worked out. He went to Pittsburgh. He's had great success there the last 5-ish years. So I really don't want to run this all over again. Cleveland, please do not screw this up. This is the best cornerback we have had in quite some time. And he's been worthy of that top first-round pick his entire career. Let's get him locked up. Let's get him on the books. I'll take a look at a mock contract I would offer him if I had the GM hat on. But first, if you want to see Denzel Ward get the bag and stay by the lake for the rest of his career, go ahead and spam his jersey number 21 down below. Show him some love. You guys are the best, honestly, at putting jersey numbers because I think that's just little things, because even if Denzel Ward doesn't come across this video, his family members and his friends and his close group are always searching his name, seeing what people say about him. If they come across this video and they see the love that the Dawg Pound is giving this guy, they're going to tell him, and he's going to be like, you know what, I do want to stay in Cleveland. I think it works that way. Maybe, maybe not. But if we look at what an extension could look like, I think it's important first to look at what cornerbacks are being paid right now in the NFL, because that's a good measuring stick. And I don't think he's going to get Jalen Ramsey money. Ramsey's the best corner in the NFL, and so deservingly so, deserves to be paid the highest. But I think in that Marlon Humphrey, Tre'Davious White range is where Denzel Ward could end up. So my mock extension I would give this guy would be a 5-year contract for $90 million. That's an average of $18 million a season, and you guarantee half of it. You give him $45 million for putting his name on a piece of paper, and I wouldn't know why he turned that down. That seems pretty good to me, especially when you think about the fact that the salary cap is going way up this season. They're going to make it from like 180 to 220, so you got plenty of extra dough to spend. The Browns they're in the top half in terms of money they have to spend in free agency this upcoming offseason, at this point. So they've got the dough. They can make it happen. The only thing that I think could hold them back is if they look at this position group and they go, it's not so important enough to give him that huge deal. We'd rather take that money and put it at the quarterback spot, whether that's Baker's contract if he balls out in 2022, or if we got to go find a quarterback on the street and pay a top-notch free agent quarterback. That'd be the only hiccup I could envision, but I don't think that's going to happen. So hopefully this deal gets done, and hopefully you like today's video and you've subscribed already, because we will catch you guys later here on the Cleveland Browns Report.